hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press. Sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Tronke goes off. De Jong into second place.
I'm going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying, there's contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the Parabolka. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the Parabolka. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Welcome to Richmond. This is the first round of the chase in the Go Fast Racing Grand National Series, and another short field here tonight, but we are here to show you the best racing action that we can possibly provide. Sam Cooper Bennett up in the booth with you as always, joined by my broadcast partner Mr. Scott Brinson. Scott, we've got another short field tonight, should make things interesting.
Yeah, short field on a short track, and all of them are chase eligible. I'm just checking that out. All 11 of them that we got tonight are in the chase. But that's all we got, folks. Just 11. But we're gonna make the best of it here tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to put on a pretty good show for you.
Ah, we always do, but you know,
gonna be story night tonight, folks.
Story time. But anyway, we are here. We're just going over into qualifying now, as Scott has already alluded to, we've got all 11 drivers in the chase for this one, all challenge eligible drivers. And with the form that he's been on lately, Joe Burchett has got to be one of the favourites here tonight.
Yeah, and just looking at the points here coming into tonight, I'm guessing that they're going to go based off how the points are set up here. So Joe's got himself a 17-point lead over Tyler Cox, who's second in the points. And then back in third place, Michael Trevathan. Brian Littleton is fourth. Dylan Vose fifth. David Worrell sixth. Jeff Schmidt seventh. Mark Cohn is tied with Eric Minch for eighth. Skylar Allen is 10th. Austin Marion 11th. Jeff Whoopker 12th. Brandon Puffenbarger 13th. Jeremy Rigney 14th. Adam Chapman 15th. And Robert Dudley rounds out the 16 guys that qualified for the chase. Only 11 of those guys are here this evening. Jeremy Rigney is the furthest back. Actually, I'm not seeing Jeremy Rigney and Brandon Puffenbarger qualifying for the chase. I apologize. I'm showing those guys outside of the chase as far as the points go.
So it's going to be the same story as last night with Somo. We could have a couple of drivers stinking up the show here tonight with like stealing the win off possibly a chase contender that could advance to the second round.
Yeah, either Puffenbarger or Rigney. Those are the two that are not in the chase based off the points.
I do believe Lee Rigney, though, is a chase contender, so it's unusual to see Jeremy here and not Lee.
And it's only 12 in this league. I guess they did that. Yeah, it's instead of the top 16, it's only the top 12. That's why those guys weren't in on points. So I'm guessing they made that adjustment due to the car counts.
Yep. But anyway, let's go through the lineup just before we go to the race. I mean, Michael Trevathan currently sitting top of the standings in qualifying with a 20.773. He's already completed his qualifying. Currently got Brandon Puffenbarger making his way around on track. He's the only driver not to make post a lap time right now, and he's running the Kyle Larson scheme here tonight, the Credit One scheme.
Yeah, I got Trading Paints trying to load up for me right now.
Yeah, Trading Paints is actually working for me tonight. As Puffenbarger points his way into P7 right now.
Yep, they've all taken time.
Yep. The volume here.
I was going to say that should wrap up qualifying then as soon as they all get done turning their laps here.
Absolutely. Well, that is going to be it. So all that's left for me to say is put your hands on your heart, stand on your feet, as we're going to go to tonight's national anthem once my mouse decides to stop being a, you know what. Bear me too. Well, I'll go and find it. But yeah, we are going to go to our national anthem segment. So everybody just stand on your feet and embrace the national anthem as we go through the national anthem. Anyway, I'm just rambling on now. Anyway. And that was tonight's national anthem, brought to you by both his good friend Terry Adams. And qualifying just coming to an end now, so let's go to tonight's grid for the race. And starting up on the pole, again my mouse being a pain in the ass, is Michael Trevathan. Joined on the front row with him is Joe Burchett. On row 2 will be Dylan Vose and Jeff Schmidt. Row 3 will be Brandon Puffenbarger and Jeremy Rigney. Row 4 will be Mark Cohen and Brian Littleton. Row 5 will be Austin Marion and David Worrell. And starting shotgun on the field in 11th place will be Eric Minch. So 11 cars set to take the green here tonight. And looking forward to some long green flag runs here, Scott, as we've got a very short field, as we've already alluded to.
Yeah, and no stages here tonight, so this could very possibly go the whole way without any cautions, just depending. It's not likely. I'm sure we'll get a caution or two, but we're not going to get a bunch of them tonight. There's no resets. We got 11 cars, and not everybody has gridded yet. Still waiting for a couple of these guys to grid up so we can go racing.
One big absentee for tonight's race is Tyler Cox, not making it to tonight's race. So... a man that's been on pretty much good form all season, not making it to tonight's first round of the chase, which is kind of unfortunate. Hopefully he can make it back for next week's race at Charlotte.
And notice league owner Skylar Allen wasn't here either.
Yeah, I believe he's in the chase too, so a lot of chase contenders. I wonder if it's another fallout thing from Hurricane Florence, but again, we've had some pretty we've had some pretty short fields here lately. But just want to point out on the fact that something weird happened today in Canada. There was actually a tornado up in Ottawa. Which is
Didn't
weird.
hear about that.
Yeah, apparently there's a tornado up in Ottawa. So,
if I'm not mistaken, so were the Blackhawks, and if I'm not mistaken, they won that game tonight. Go Hawks! Pretty sure that's who we were playing tonight. I looked at it a little bit ago, but I was doing 10 things at once. So no, Hawks were up 4-2. Whoever it was they were playing, I'm pretty sure it was Ottawa.
Yeah, and congratulations go out to Cleveland Browns last night. The deadlock has finally been broken. They're finally off the mark.
That kid come off the bench slinging and zinging, man. I was like, damn, somebody wants to make a career for themselves. And he did, man. He made a name for himself last night. The Baker Mayfield era is here.
Absolutely. And well, let's go back to tonight's race. They're currently on their second lap around the track. This is a short track here at Richmond, as they have to do 2 circulations before they go green here tonight. And Scott, I'm going to give you the pleasure of getting us going here tonight.
All right, man. Lucky me. Here we go. Ready to go racing at Richmond. Short track racing. We don't have a lot of them, so hopefully there isn't a whole lot of beating and banging. And we got a green flag. And we're underway. Woo, the 41 did not get a good start at ours at all. I can't talk tonight. The 61 almost ran him over on the start, but we're good here. Checked up at the last minute.
Yeah, as Dylan Vose keeps it wound up on the bottom there and takes away that second place from Joe Bichette. Bichette, a bad start here tonight as he drops down to 4th place now, as there goes Jeff Schmidt to the inside.
I think that high line's going to be king once they start getting some laps on the tires here. The guy on the outside is going to be able to keep up the momentum.
Yep,
right now, with those fresh tires, though, the bottom line is definitely going to work for these guys, but they're going to have to do it quickly. The longer Joe puts up a battle here, it's just going to burn up Jeff's tires, and he finally got by him.
Yep, Jeff Schmidt up to 3rd place now, was Michael Trevathan already starting to get away, but Dylan Vose not going to let him get too far away.
Oh, we got a spurt. We got a wreck back here, no caution.
Yep, and
wow, I can't believe the caution didn't come out.
I believe that was involving Jeff Schmidt and Joe Bichette.
Sure was. Joe tried to do the bomb on him, and it didn't work out. Got into the back of Jeff Schmidt. Yep,
you see that there? Tried the bomb, as Scott already said, didn't work. Jeff Schmidt came down on him, and Jeff Schmidt coming off the worst out of that one, as we do stay green here.
Yeah, they live to tell the story, so no harm, no foul. Yeah, early mistake.
That's hurt Joe Bichette, though, as he's fallen all the way back to 7th. Even worse for
Jeff. But he's all right.
Yeah. Jeff Schmidt falling back all the way to P10, which is 2nd from last. Eric Minch is the man in last place right now. But Michael Trevathan is the man out in front right now, and he's keeping honest. Got Dylan Vose keeping him honest here tonight. Vose having a bad few races. He has got a 1 win on the season. That's what pointed him into the chase, but he's here now. And I'm having sound problems on.
Well, computers just don't ever want to be cooperative, do they, Sam?
Not at all. It's an iRacing problem this time around. The sound isn't very high from the track, so.
Oh, we got contact again between the 45 and the 306 there. 45 almost shot up into the wall, but kept it out of the wall. Got her woed down. He's all right, but more contact here.
Yeah, David Worrell and Mark Cohen getting into it there, as Mark Cohen's under pressure from Joe Bichette right now. Bichette going to try and slowly make his way through the field here.
Making his move now, trying to make up for them spots he lost when he had that incident just a few laps ago. But he's all right. I don't see any damage, anything significant anyway on the 41. He'll be just fine. We got a long race, so, and he's good on the long run, Sam. You know how good he is the longer the run goes. So these guys out front right now, they better be taking care of his stuff because they will hear from this guy again before this race is over.
Yep. And Michael Trevathan. Still, this is actually the closest battle out on track right now between Michael Trevathan and Dylan Vose. You see Vose there trying to dive into the inside of Trevathan. Not going to make it work this time round, but there's still nose to tail here as Brandon Puffenbarger up to 3rd place now. And he's just cruising right now, saving those tyres. Just not going to push the issue right now. He's just going to cruise on around the track and see what he can get from that point onwards.
Yeah, this field got separated quite a bit, you know, single filed out and a lot of distance between the cars. But if you notice, Sam, everybody's starting to inch closer to each other, and this field's starting to tighten back up again. So this ought to get interesting as tires begin to fall off, huh?
Absolutely.
Old tires and a whole bunch of cars around each other. Short track, yeah, that spells caution.
Yeah, everybody keeps talking about a new tyre model. Have they released a new tyre model already?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that I thought there was one to come out with every update. We just had an update last week, or 2 weeks ago. That was last week.
Well, a couple of days ago, a system update came out. But...
yeah, we had a minor update, but I'm pretty sure there's a new tire build every 13 weeks, isn't there?
Well, they're meant to be bringing out a major one soon, but
yeah, I don't know about between the difference between minor and major. I was pretty sure there was a new one every build. Maybe not.
I don't know. Anyway, this is your battle for the lead here between Michael Trevathan and Dylan Vose. How good? Sorry.
Believe it or not, Sam, as much time as we spend around this thing, we're not iRacing experts, are we?
Not really. We know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
We know enough.
Yeah. We know just enough, and that's it.
That's all we need to know.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the Game of Thrones reference, but, you know, I watch a lot of Game of Thrones.
Right on.
Meanwhile, Joe Bichette is starting to close in on the back of Brian Littleton. Littleton's been having a lot of strong runs lately. And was actually second in the regular season points in the end, so behind the man that's currently leading this race. But Brian Littleton really had a strong second half of the regular season, and so actually probably going to be one of the favourites for the chase here.
Littleton was actually the winner of the last race these guys had a couple weeks ago in Las Vegas. Led 55 laps, went short of the most of the race. Tyler Cox led the most for that race. Littleton led 55, started from 4th, and won that race. So bringing in some heavy momentum coming into this race.
Yeah, and I will apologise for not broadcasting that race, as we had nobody to cover the broadcasting responsibilities. So unfortunately, I had to miss that race. But we are here tonight, and we are showing tonight's race. And what a race to be coming back to is the first round of the chase, and it's already proven to be quite exciting, actually. Joe Bichette just breezes by Brian Littleton. Brian Littleton's not going to let him have it that easily. He's already trying to look to the inside there as they go towards turn 1.
And Joe's done a good job of recovering from that early incident. Like I said, these guys up front, they're going to hear from him before this is over.
Yeah.
Joe already back up 4th place.
Yeah, we're already on lap 19 of 200 here, so...
oh yeah, they'll knock them out good as long as they keep this thing green. With 70% fuel, I'm just wondering how big the fuel window is going to be and how they're going to split it up. I'm thinking it'll be a 3-stop race, and they'll cut it up into 50s.
Yeah. So maybe lap 50 for the first pit stop?
That's what I'm guessing. If this thing stays green the whole way, I would expect them to think probably the same thing, that if they haven't had a caution by the first pit stop, to just go ahead and expect it to stay green.
Yep. As we are on lap 21 now at 200, still ticking along nicely. Michael Trevathan
almost halfway through the run here.
Yeah. Michael Trevathan still not able to get away from Dylan Vose. Dylan Vose sticking to that back bumper like a fly to a piece of, anyway, like a fly to flypaper, that'll do. But while they're all doing that, it looks like Brandon Puffenbarger's starting to close that gap ever so slightly now. Starting to slowly reel them in, as it were.
Yeah, well, it may be just a matter of them up there racing hard. You got one that's trying to keep the one behind him, and the other one that's behind is trying to force him to make a mistake. So they're not really taking care of their equipment.
Not at all. As Brian Littleton loses another position, he's actually falling behind Mark Cohen now. So Brian Littleton falls to P6. He's got a good enough gap over Jeremy Rigney though, 2.5 seconds. The gap between the 80 and the 11. So Littleton not in any trouble right now. But Rigney himself is actually in trouble from David Worrell. And Jeff Schmidt not so far back either there in P9. So nice little battle for P7 shaping up right there. And you are right. They, in certain parts of the pack here, they are closing up very quickly.
Yeah, they're starting to gap out again. They aren't getting together like they once were. There for a few laps, it looked like they were all going to pack back up again, but now they've spaced themselves out. If you look, there's about 1.5 seconds between each car. Some more than that, some a little less.
Yep.
Biggest mover of the race so far. We got a couple different guys that have moved up 2 spots. You got David Worrell from 10th to 8th, Brian Littleton from 8th to 6th, and Puffenbarger started 5th, and he's up to 3rd. So 3 different guys, and Mark Cohn, now he's up into 5th. He started 7th. So a few different guys have picked up a couple different spots.
Well, Brian Littleton was up into 4th place at one point. That was because of the incident between Joe Bichette and Jeff Schmidt. So capitalised on a mistake there and made up some positions, but he's fallen back into P6 now. Is 1.5 seconds behind Mark Cohen now. Still able to hold the gap between himself and Rigney at 2.5 seconds. But this battle for P7, they're getting closer and closer. And Jeff Schmidt is right on the back of David Worrell now, dives it in to the corner, and he's going to get that position away from him.
Sure did. Nice pass. He's still trying to recover like Bichette did. He hasn't been as fortunate.
Yep, he
But
came
a
up.
lot of time left. One caution comes out that could change this whole race.
Absolutely. And Jeff Schmidt now looking to the back of Jeremy Rigney now as they come out of turn 4. Not quite close enough, but he's going to try and dive it in anyway. Wow, that would have been a really interesting move if we managed to make that stick. Meanwhile, back at the front, we've still got this battle taking place between Dylan Vose and Michael Trevarthen. Vose still not letting Trevarthen get away here. I think the only thing that's
just kind of riding right there.
Yeah, as Joe Bichette moves his way up to 3rd place now. He's passed Brandon Puffenbarger for 3rd place now.
Here he comes. Now the only other 2 cars in front of him are 1st and 2nd place. I'm sure by the time we get the green flag stops, if not sooner than that, he's going to be right there with these guys. The thing about Joe is we've seen him make some mistakes on pit road, so let's hope that doesn't come back to bite him tonight.
Yep. So Joe Bichette, his recovery continues here, up into 3rd place. Jeremy Rigney still trying to hold off Jeff Schmidt here as Jeff Schmidt goes to the bottom line, dives it in underneath the 11. Still can't make the move work here. Like I said, that high line seems to be the preferred line here as Rigney actually goes to the bottom line this time to defend from the 61. And there goes Schmidt again.
I was going to say he's not giving up, is he? He's not going to give up. Ooh, 11 almost bouncing it off the wall there. That's going to help out a little bit. Schmidt, I think, ooh, I was going to say he might slide up into him. He's pinching him down quite a bit so the 61 can't get no speed on the front stretch here. It's really hurting him in this opportunity to try to get around, but he finally waved the white flag there. He gave it to him. He didn't want to risk it again, him sliding up the track.
He didn't want to risk it for a biscuit, as we say over here. Oh! Worrell gets it to the back of Schmidt! And
that's a rubber bit.
And that's tonight's first caution. David Worrell absolutely running over Jeremy Rignan there.
Yeah, he did. That's a pile driver.
There you go. Into the left rear quarter panel he goes, and that's going to be damage for Worrell, but worse damage for Jeremy Rigney. So, caution number 1 out.
They'll all be coming to pit road for 4 Mr. Field Goods and some petrol.
Petrol.
So they could still be on a 3-stop strategy here. 2 more stops from here to the end.
Yeah, they can make it.
Well, with 70% fuel, with 70% fuel, maybe not. Not 200 laps. We're only on lap 37. If they had full fuel, yeah, but not with 70% fuel.
Well, Dylan Vose has actually stayed out.
Get that bonus point. He's one of them guys in the chase, so why not? I mean, hell, there's only 11 cars in the field. One of them just got wrecked, so he's going to be slow. So you got 10 cars that are competitive left. Why not stay out and get the old bonus point?
I would. Then again, that's
Cha-ching.
I did that at Pocono last year to get that bonus point. I stayed out.
Sometimes it can be huge. Every point matters.
I took a gamble. It almost paid off. I got to what? A huge. I ended up with a huge lead after the restart as well. I think you remember that one. I was battling you for the lead at one point. Me and you were.
I remember that.
Yeah, we were having a battle for the lead at Pocono, and that's all stemmed because I took a gamble and stayed out.
And sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah.
I took a gamble on Wednesday night, went in and got tires with, I knew it was going to be a 2-lap restart. Everybody followed me in, and it turned out it really didn't make a difference.
Not at all.
I kind of got blocked on the high line, too, when I tried to make my move. That had a lot to do with it. Had I had another lap or so, I'm sure I would have picked up a position or two, but I had to get out of it, otherwise I would have killed Tyler.
Speaking of Tyler, I think he might have been regretting the fact that he stayed out on old tyres on Wednesday, because that really hurt him in the last couple of laps there, because he was like 3rd at one point and then he ended up in 7th.
Yeah, he still wound up being the biggest mover of the race.
Yeah, so he got that extra $5.
He made something. I know how he's hard up for cash because of the whole bowling tournament thing, so that'll help him out a little bit.
Yep. But at least our team made some gains in the team points, right?
Well, hell, our team took over the points lead, if I do recall from reading it earlier.
Yep.
Big shake-up in the old Top Fuel Racing team category this week that nobody saw coming.
Yeah, Sage Karam deciding to go independent and leave Raven Motorsports, which is absolutely shocking, to say the least. Yeah,
I was shocked.
Yeah. So
we'll just leave it at that, and we won't go there. But that definitely affected the team standings and how that all shakes out now.
Yeah, Rated R at the top. I think Turn 3 have moved up to 2nd, and Raven Motorsports have dropped to 3rd now. So
still a long way to go in the season. Still 12 races left, so that's 3 months worth of racing.
I can't believe we're almost up to
we got some off. And we still got a couple off weeks later in the year when the holidays roll around, so.
Yeah, I'm still looking forward to Indy, though. That's my... Actually, no, I'm looking forward to Michigan. That's going to be one that I know I can do well at because of how wide...
That's the next race after Richmond. Here we go, though, Sam.
Yep.
Pace car's off.
Pace car's off, and Trevathan not wasting any time in getting him going. Bichette up to 2nd after... Problems for Dylan Vose, dropping him all the way to 8th. That's because he decided to stay out that extra lap. But Bichette up to 2nd now, and you can actually see his chance of maybe getting ahead of Michael Trevathan here. We've got a battle here for 3rd place, though, as Mark Cohen dives it to the inside of Brian Littleton here. Littleton pushed up to the outside wall.
So being that we can't go all the way to the end, I think we're still on strategy here for what we were talking about earlier. You'll see the next stop on lap 100. They'll just go a little further.
Yeah.
If the tires can hold up, you may get a caution before that.
I was hoping we wouldn't get a caution at all, but we did.
We won't get many, though. There won't be a whole bunch of them. And it bunches everybody back up, makes the racing interesting again. So if we're going to get them, let's get them timely like we did there. And the racing gets exciting again as we're all bunched up here. We got a nice little pack back here for 3rd place, all the way back to 7th, Sam.
Yeah, Mark Cohen currently leading that little pack with Brian Littleton there in 4th place. Brandon Pufferbarger in 5th, and we've got Dylan Vose and Jeff Schmidt going side by side. Two teammates battling out. Yeah, two teammates battling out for P6 right now. Jeff Schmidt still trying to make a comeback here, but Dylan Vose, after dropping back to 8th on that restart, already making up the numbers here, and he's already up to P6 now. So watch for that man in the 19 to slowly make his way through the field, just like Joe Burchett did in the last stint.
Yeah, he knows this is a long race and a lot can happen, and it's unlikely we're going to go green the rest of the way. So just like it was unlikely we were going to go green the whole way. Here we go. Burchett's making his move. He has recovered from that incident, and he is now making a move for the lead here at Richmond in the opening race of the chase. And he's almost cleared him. Not quite yet, though. The 2 battles back. But Burchett's going to clear him, and Joe Burchett is your new leader here at Richmond.
Trevathan had to back out of that because he was so close to the wall out of turn 2. He nearly annihilated the wall coming out of turn 2, so he had to back out and give up the position. And now he's falling back into the clutches of Mark Cohen here. So Cohen could move up to 2nd place here if he plays his cards right, but Trevathan, Burchett made it look easy, but Trevathan is not the easiest man to pass out there.
No, sir, but there's a good chance that we could see Joe lead a big chunk of laps here. They got to be careful not to let him get away. These guys back here behind him can't race it up too much. They got to just stay with Joe. Because if this does stay green, they definitely don't want him getting away.
Well, Joe led pretty much all of the race when we went to Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago, so we know he's capable of doing it. So, well, not all of the race. I think he was shared with Tyler Cox until his untimely demise.
So you got to crank it up, Cam, for this place too?
I do.
Let's crank it up for the first time for the fans.
Absolutely. So both for the first time tonight, both are broadcasting will crank it up. So everybody is all bunched up still as Mark Cohen has actually got by Michael Trevathan. Look at Brandon Pufferbarger working to the outside of Trevathan now. Trevathan, I think, has got issues here. He's falling backwards now as Dylan Vose is now taking a look on the outside of the 2.
Yeah, he's sinking like a rock in the ocean right now. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm not sure if he got in the wall, made some contact, and it slowed him down, or if he's just already burned up the field good on those tires.
Yeah, but Joe Burchett is checked out right now. He's 1.5 seconds to the good over his teammate Mark Cohen. Yeah, Trevathan's let Brian Littleton by as well now, and he's fallen back to P6. So
something's wrong.
Yeah, something's very wrong with Michael Trevathan.
I think he's gotten into the wall and damaged that car. You get a look at it. Looks like he's getting damage anywhere.
I can't. No, he's got no damage on his car whatsoever.
Not sure though.
So maybe he's driving a sick Mustang. I don't know.
Maybe he's got internet connection issues. Sometimes your connection will slow you down. I know. I just went through a whole summer of that.
I can't wait till the day iRacing brings mechanical failures to the sim.
Oh man, yeah, that's not going to be any fun. That's all you need.
They will do it, you know. They will do it. They're trying to
sit there for an hour and a half, run the perfect race, and then the game just say, nope, you're the random guy that we're going to select to have an engine failure.
Yeah, or a tire blowout, or a suspension failure, or
I have seen tire blowouts. They're random and rare as hell on iRacing.
yeah.
But me and Rudy witnessed it a couple different times doing races. And yeah, it was in extreme conditions to where the tire was just, you know, the percentage was down in the 40s. But we have seen tires blow out.
Yeah, that's only if you run your tires literally down to 0, and they're like,
yeah, run the hell out of them.
Yeah, and netcodes can sometimes simulate as a suspension failure, the way they just suddenly go in a straight line. I mean, if you like see a car like go around a track and then all of a sudden it just goes in a straight line into the wall, that kind of looks like a suspension failure, but we all know it's not. Although we like to make it look like it is.
No, it's just the game doing its thing. It's the interruption in the internet, and that's just one thing that no matter how hard they work to try to solve that and correct that permanently, it's just always going to be there. It's never going to be perfect. It's just something everybody's just got to get used to, and it sucks. I've been a victim of it. Everybody has, but it's always going to be there.
Now I wonder if they're... Oh, it's Brian Lawton's around!
No caution.
Oh, there is a caution.
There it is.
Yeah.
They waited on that one.
Let's take a look at that. I think he got it all wrong coming out of turn 2, I think it was. Yeah, it was. Got it all wrong.
Definitely didn't get it right.
No. Not too much damage on that number 80 though, so he can carry on going and continue as normal.
Yeah. Still in the fight.
Yeah, he only tapped the wall, so didn't try and bring the wall down like Jeremy Rigney did.
Surprised nobody's there. I was gonna say I'm surprised nobody's staying out to get that bonus point, but somebody decided to. They gotta hustle.
Yeah, that's David.
They will get it.
No, it's Eric Minch has stayed out. Eric Minch stays out.
He'll get it.
Yep. So in the chase, bonus points mean everything, and Eric Minch getting as many points as he can as Joe Bichette overshoots his pit box.
Yeah, that's what I was talking earlier. We've seen Joe have some issues on pit road. That's likely going to cost him the lead of the race coming out of the pits.
Yep. Take a look. See if that works as Mark Cohen wins the race off pit road. A 4-wide scramble on the exit of pit road, and Mark Cohen comes out first. Joe Bichette comes out second. Brandon Pufferbogger is going to come out third, and Dylan Vose out fourth. I've never ever seen 4 wide at Richmond on the exit of pit road.
Surprised I just didn't break my microphone on my headset. I had to take it off for just a second. I went to set it down, and it fell right off what I set it down on, right on the mic.
Oh,
and it's already been broken before. I've had to Gorilla Glue it back together, so I was expecting it to be broken. But nope. Gorilla Glue. Strong stuff.
I had to use Gorilla Tape the other week to stick my pedals to the floor.
Yeah, did it work?
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a professional setup. I'll go ahead and say it now. So, and
mine came from GT Omega.
I don't have a rig, air quotes, so to speak. So my pedals are on a tiled floor.
Oh wow, yeah, that's got to be brutal.
So I've had to put them on one of those mats that like stick to the. I've had to literally put them on a non-slip mat and stick the non-slip mat to the floor with Gorilla Tape and put the pedals on top. And it's, so what? My ingenuity's paid off because it's worked.
Hey, as long as it works, man, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
If it works for you, then hey, it works. So we got a new leader. Mark Cohn, he's also the biggest mover of this race. He started 7th. He's currently your leader now. He's worked his way through this field. Joe Burchett showed, though, in that last run, though, he was the class of the field. So he's going to have his hands full holding off the 41 once we get going back to racing here.
Yeah. And lights are going to be going off the pace car this time round. So, Scott, I believe it's your turn to get us going.
That, my friend, I can handle. And a pretty decent race so far. We've had a couple cautions if you're just tuning in. Just enough just to restack the field so they don't get away. As you see, we didn't have a bunch of them turn out tonight, so it's good that we've had them.
And as a special treat, I might even go crank it up again when we go green.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
On a restart, let's do that.
While they're all bunched up together.
Just once we get going, I won't even say nothing, just crank it up.
There we go, crank it up. So while we were cranking it up, Brandon Pufferberg has actually forced his way up to 2nd place here. Joe Bichette losing a spot, then drops to 3rd place. Michael Javarthan has recovered, he's back up to 4th place, and Dylan Vose rounds out your top 5 right now. Jeff Schmidt is actually recovering quite well, he's up to P6 now. As, yeah, everybody's still really bunched up and pretty much in single file now.
Yeah, whatever was ailing Trevathan, he seems to have fixed that problem, huh?
Yeah. As,
right now, anyway. I'm wondering if it was just the tires. I'm thinking he might have just roasted up them tires pretty quickly. Which tells you how well he took care of him on the first run. He did a pretty good job, obviously, because he was, you know, running there in 1st place for so long.
Yeah, he had that clean air in front of him. But Brandon
Look at Mark Cohen, since he's gotten out front in the clean air. He's done a good job of holding these guys behind him.
Yep, already half a second up the road there. That's what half a second looks like there. As Brandon Pufferberg is still under pressure from Joe Bichette as they make their way into turn 1. Mark Javarthan keeping them honest as well. And Dylan Vose just sitting back there and relaxing as Jeff Schmidt has fallen back to P9. Something's happened there to the man in the 61.
Yeah, he just restarted there in 6th place. We were just talking about him being in 6th place, and you were saying he made a good recovery. Something must have happened. Been an eventful race for him.
As Jeremy Rigney moves back up to 6th place, so recovering from the caution that he caused. Well, him and David Worrell caused. He's up to P6 now. As Brian Littleton recovering himself, he's up to P7. Eric Minch is up to P8. Remember, he got that bonus point for staying out on the court during the caution. As Jeff Schmidt gets back around him again.
And all 11 cars that started this race are still on the lead lap as we're working lap 77 of the scheduled 200. So pretty cool to see all these guys still on the lead lap. We didn't have a big turnout tonight. I'm sure the hurricane had something to do with that. Hope all the guys that were directly affected by that here in the league and not even involved in the league, I hope everyone is doing okay and nobody was seriously injured, and you all got food, water, and power and all that good stuff. And if you don't have power, hopefully you all have generators, or hopefully someone has been willing to reach out to you and give you a hand.
Absolutely. So Mark Cohen's still your leader here. Brandon Pufferberger in 2nd, Joe Bichette in 3rd, Michael Trevathan is 4th. And Dylan Vose rounds out the top 5, and they've completely gotten away from Jeremy Rigney. Over 3 seconds, the gap between the 11 and the 19, as Rigney under pressure now from Brian Littleton. Littleton diving it down to the inside.
And these guys are starting to reel in Cone up here. They're racing it up now, though. Burchett just took a look underneath the 42. He's got to get by him first. So Mark definitely wants to see this in his rear view. These guys side by side, and wants to see it for a few laps so he can get away. Whoa! Burchett has a moment there on that bottom side. But what a run he got out of the corner there. Look at that.
Yep, still side by side with the 42 here. And now I can see why Brandon Puffenbarger went for the Kyle Larson scheme. Because he's got the 42.
Why is that?
Because he's got the 42.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle Larson.
He's obviously a Larson fan.
Oh, yeah. Clearly.
Burchett's almost won this battle, but he's not won it yet. But he's inching ever so further every corner, though.
Yeah, and while these guys are battling, it's helping Mark Cohen get away. He's actually 8 tenths of a second to the good. As Burchett finally gets around Puffenbarger. Question is, can Trevathan try and get around him as well now?
And it's allowed him and Vose to hang right there with these guys, all that racing going on. Now they got to reel in the leader.
And since taking away second place, Joe Burchett has actually taken 2 tenths of a second out of Mark Cohen's lead. So Joe Burchett on a charge already. He's gotten rid of the roadblocks, so to speak.
Now the strategy has been all screwed up. No telling when these guys will stop now.
Absolutely.
Oh, Mark's starting to blink quite a bit out there.
Yeah, he is. I'm having to step away from him because it's affecting my broadcast. So.
Owner Brinson.
Well, not
blinking like a damn Christmas bulb.
Not anymore. You've had your computer fixed.
Nope. Yeah. Turns out it was that solid state drive all along. Here he comes. Here comes Burchett. Got a hell of a run coming out of 4 there. He's going to try to make it work all the way down the front stretch. I don't think Mark's going to wave the white flag, though.
Yep, dives it right down to the bottom. And Burchett is back in the lead again. That's how Brandon Puffenbarger closed right in as well, though.
Getting close to halfway.
Yep. It hasn't taken us long to get to halfway either, so.
About 45 minutes or so. We're still not there yet. So by the time we get there, about 47 minutes, 48 minutes.
The Joe Burchett has already extended his lead to half a second over Mark Cohen. Brandon Puffenbarger sits in 3rd. Dylan Vose is up to 4th now as Trevathan's fallen back again. And he's fallen away from Dylan Vose. Still got a 4-second gap between himself and Jeremy Rigney, but Trevathan looks like he's struggling again now.
That tells me it's the tires. He's not taking care of the tires.
Yeah, maybe.
Did a better job on that first run. Now he's not doing such a good job. Still a long way to go, though. Still time to correct that. Just got to be a little easier on that throttle pedal. That's all, a little smoother.
Jordan Barry asks in the live chat, what's the strength of field here? I wish I knew.
Won't know till after the race. Just see the standings. At least I don't have a program to tell me that. I know some guys do, but I don't have that program.
I actually don't know.
Michael Jeans were here. He'd probably be able to tell you.
Yeah,
a program for everything.
I think Jeans has got Sim Racing app, so he probably will know, yeah. It's Michael Trevathan. Actually, Michael Trevathan just blinked out there, so I wonder if he has connection problems.
Could be. We were talking about that just a little bit ago. If your connection is not solid, it will slow you down out on the track. I know firsthand.
Yep. Meanwhile, Brandon Puffenbarger is now under pressure from Dylan Vose. Vose has now realised that now is the time to go. He was down as far as P8 at one point after staying out an extra lap to get a bonus point during the first caution. He's made his way back up to P4. Question is, can he make his way back up to the podium spot as he's all over the back of that Credit 1 number 42.
He's trying. Still got a half a race to go, a little over half a race to go, so plenty of time to get by him. We have had a couple timely cautions. We're likely we might get a third.
That's the hope anyway.
Yeah, because Joe Burchett's starting to drive away, and that may be the only hope these guys have.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Burchett's proved on a couple of occasions tonight that he is actually human, so...
Yeah, he could always make a mistake. He just made a mistake on pit road like we were talking about earlier. We hope we didn't see that. At the first pit stop, he made a mistake, so he definitely got to get that corrected here before the chase concludes. Could cost him.
Yep. Meanwhile, Jeremy Rigney under pressure from Jeff Schmidt now. Battling out for that P7 spot as Schmidt trying to dive it down to the bottom line again. These two have been battling quite a bit tonight. Eric Minch back there in P9. David Worrell in P10. Austin Marion very much off the pace in P11. Not sure what's going on with the man in the 65, but he's way back there right now. And he could be in danger of getting lapped soon as well. There is Joe Burchett just making his way through turn 1 just after Austin Marion, so interesting. Back to the battle between Puffenbarger and Vose, as Vose is ever closer this time round, and Trevathan's found some speed again. He's right behind them too.
Yeah, he's trying to hang in there.
Yeah.
I think Michael's battling internet issues and battling tire issues. But he's doing all right. He's not fading like he was earlier. I mean, he was really dropped back earlier. He had big issues a couple runs ago. So he's at least got that solved a little bit, but obviously still having some issues there in the number 2 machine.
Yeah. Puffenbarger still able to keep it ahead of the 19 of Dylan Vose. And we're talking about the Slim Jims paint scheme that Shane Pipalo's had on his car yesterday. I mean, I think, if I remember rightly, Brandon Puffenbarger used to have a Slim Jims scheme on his car. That's how I remember him, I think. As Dylan Vose dives it to the inside. Side by side as they come out of 2.
Wow.
Puffenbarger able to win that little battle there.
That looked like they were going to make contact there, but they didn't.
As we're officially past halfway now. I apologise. I was just
What was that again? What was that again, Sam?
we're officially past. I was yawning. Okay. Now we're officially past halfway. Bo's going to dive it down to the inside again, coming out of turn 4. Not going to make it work again. So that high line really coming into play now.
And Sam, I just noticed for the first time tonight, we have a car a lap down. Austin Marion has fallen a lap down.
Yeah, for some reason, the man in the 65, Metalhead Machine, really off the pace right now. Looks like he's really struggling around here tonight.
Took half a race for us to get a car a lap down. We only had 11 that started, and it took half a race to get a car a lap down. And Austin Marion can still get back in this fight here and pick up some spots. All he needs is a caution. Obviously, he'll be the lucky dog.
Joe Burchett now has led 35 laps here at Richmond. Mark Cohen going to be the next driver to put a lap on Austin Marion here. And the battle still rages on between Dylan Vose and Brandon Puffenbarger. Vose still not able to find a way by the 42. No, it's not for the want of trying.
Right. Well, Mark Cohen's still your biggest mover of this race, Sam. Started 7th, still running 2nd place. Having a hell of a run here tonight.
Absolutely. Mark Cohen's
just looking around here. Go ahead.
Mark Cohen's no stranger to starting at the back though and working his way forward. He's done it in, I think the biggest move he made, well, I think was back at Dover. He started right at the back and moved his way up to, I think it was 2nd place. So he definitely knows how to get it done from the back and move his way forward during the course of a race.
We're just looking at the field. Everybody's pretty much right around where they started, other than Cohn and Michael Trevathan. Trevathan was your pole sitter. Obviously, he's currently running 5th. And Cohn started 7th. He's up to 2nd. Other than that, Jeff Schmidt started 4th, and he's fallen back to 7th. Other than that, man, everybody's pretty much right where they started or within 1 or 2 spots.
Yeah, Brandon Puffenbarger starting 5th, so he's up to 3rd. Although Dylan Vose is so desperate to take that position away from him right now.
Littleton started 8th, he's in the 6th. Minch started 11th, he's in 9th. So just a couple spots. Yeah. Austin Marion, he started 9th, he's fallen to 11th. He's the car a lap down currently. Getting our longest green flag run of the race right now.
Yeah, as Dylan Vose finally gets the move done on Brandon Puffenbarger and moves up to 3rd place. Finally took advantage.
It's really allowed Trevathan to close in quite a bit, too. These guys battling up for so long. Now it's a 3-car battle.
Yeah. That's it.
Got Littleton back there blinking behind him.
Littleton still recovering from that spin he had that brought out caution number 2 here tonight. As Trevathan's still all over the back of Brandon Puffenbarger now. Puffenbarger looks like he might have burnt the goodie off those tyres because Trevathan, despite all the troubles he's had, he's able to catch up to the back of him now.
Yeah, I think he's going to wind up getting by him here in just another lap, too. He's really putting the pressure on.
And
I think you're right about the 42. I think he's burned up his stuff.
Now I know why Trevathan's slow. There's quite significant damage on the front right fender of his car now.
That makes sense. Because earlier, you know, when he had that one run where he fell all the way to almost the tail end of the field, he did it pretty quickly. So that's what I was thinking, is he must have crumpled up the right front. Yeah. But you were saying you didn't see any damage on it, so then I was just kind of at a loss. But, yeah, that makes more sense now. He's had time, obviously, to get that worked on a little bit. I'm sure he'd like to have some more time to work on it, but it is what it is. He's making the best of it right now, working on the 42, trying to move up into that 4th spot.
Yeah,
there he goes. Look.
Trying to force a hole there down through turn 4. Still not able to make it stick though. Brandon Puffenbarger doing everything he can to defend from the 2. The regular season champion as they're almost coming to blows there coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, it's hard to pass on that bottom side. I've seen that a few times here tonight.
Now Dylan Vose is up to 3rd place. Can he try and close the gap between himself and Mark Cohen? And I can't help but think that we are going to be closing in on green flag pit stops here soon as well.
We sure are. I just don't know when. I don't know how much fuel they got. If they could get to lap 140 somehow, they could probably go to the end from that point on. So, actually, I know they could. I just don't know if they can go that far. I don't think they can.
Vose there in 3rd place. Joe Bichette has extended his lead to 3.7 seconds over his teammate Mark Cohen. So Bichette on dominating form again, and he's about to put David Worrell a lap down now. So we're going to have our 2nd car about to go a lap down. There he goes. Very interesting paint scheme on David Worrell's car tonight.
Minch will be next, and then Rigney.
Yep.
Minch ain't too much further up the road.
Yeah. And Minch is 3.1 seconds behind Jeremy Rigney. And Rigney probably suffered from that rear end damage he got from spinning into the wall because of the incident he had with David Worrell. Schmidt there in P7. And he's all over the back of Brian Littleton. Brian Littleton almost lost it again coming out of 2.
45's on pit road, so green flag stops might be beginning to happen. David Worrell, the first of the guys to come to pit road.
Yep, you see him right there, just making his way into his pit box. Question is, when will one of the front runners come down? Because they're going to...
like I said, if they can get lap 140, they're golden for sure. If they can get them 35, it's a coin flip.
But it also depends on cautions as well.
But if they can make it to 135, you know, on gas here, and we stay green the rest of the way, they're going to be able to make it to the end. It's going to be give or take a couple laps, but I'm pretty sure if they can get to 135, they'll make it to the end. 140 for sure, but I don't think they can get the 140 on fuel. Not on this run.
Nope. But there is Michael Trevathan. He's actually got around Brandon Puffenbarger now. So the man in the number 2 Mustang able to get around the man in the number 42 Credit One machine. And Trevathan on the recovery trail here, but Brandon Puffenbarger not letting him get away. Still able to stick to the back of Trevathan's car right now, so as we tick over towards lap 125 now, and we'll be getting there in about half a lap's time.
We'll have 75 to go.
As Eric Minch brings it pit side now. So Austin Marion will take away 9th place from Minch as he makes his way through turns 3 and 4, sorry.
There's somebody else on pit road. I didn't see who it was.
Yeah, Eric Minch. We've had David Worrell and Eric Minchin so far. Nobody from the front has made their move yet towards the pit road.
Worrell lost 2 laps making that pit stop.
Yep, as Jeff Schmidt brings it down now.
Yeah, so did Minch. So it looks like you're going to lose 2 laps on a green flag pit stop here. So can't make any mistakes, that's for sure. Not at a place like this when the laps are so short.
No. 22 second laps, so yeah, it's very
Brichette's going to have to be on his game on this pit stop, Sam. He could give away this race if he makes a mistake.
Yeah, and pit road speeds are so slow at Richmond as well, so you've got to be expected to, like, really get in and out as quickly as possible despite the slow speeds on pit road. Burchett's still staying out right now. Mark
Somebody
Cohen.
else on pit road.
Jeremy Rigney's in pit road.
Camera keeps switching so fast I can't catch who it is.
Mark Cohen has damage on his car. Has he? No, he doesn't. It just looks like he does. God damn that paint scheme. It looks like Dylan Vos is really starting to close in on him now. He's got the gap from 2 seconds down to 1.3 seconds. It was 1.1 as he's having to deal with traffic around him right now. So Dylan Vos...
Yeah, and you got green flag stops looming, so I'm sure you'll see these guys coming to pit road here in the next 5 to 10 laps.
Yep,
looks like they are going to try to make this a one-stop race from here on out.
Yep, Eric Minch is back on pit road. And he's got some considerable damage on his car. I wonder if he's smacked the wall somewhere.
Kind of surprised with this. Oh, here we go. Trevathan's coming in. Oh, we just had contact. The 42, and he missed pit road. Disaster for the 42. He was trying to make a pit stop. Had a car coming up behind him on fresher tires. They made contact, and it's going to cost the 42 time. As he had to get going again, he's got to come back around pit this time.
Yep, you see there, as that's Jeremy Rigney that got into the back of him there. A disaster there.
Yeah, that's bad, and he's going to stay out. He's not pitting now. Look at this. He's decided to stay out. Interesting call there.
Yep, as Michael Trevathan is on pit road now.
Wow. I guess he's changed his strategy now. He's going to try to stretch this out as far as he can. No, here he comes. Surprised he didn't just come right back in. Wow.
Maybe he was going to try and chase after Jeremy Rigney after that.
Not sure, but that's going to be devastating to the 42.
More than likely. As Mark Cohen brings it pit side now.
Just waiting for our leader. This is lap 135. I expect him between now and 140.
Yeah. And Mark Cohen driving the only Toyota in the field tonight. Is interesting.
Trevathan's got to be careful here not to run Burchett over. Still no sign of Joe coming to pit road, and there goes Trevathan around on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's definitely hurt Puffenbarger as he's come out of pit road behind Jeff Schmidt and Austin Marion. So
Mark Cohn coming out in front of the leader. If he can stay in front of Burchett here, that's huge, and he does. Good job by Mark Cohn.
Yeah, but crucially, he's come out of pit road behind Michael Trevathan.
Yeah, but Trevathan pitted long before he did, so he's going to go right around him here in a couple laps. But Joe's going to, you know, obviously he's staying out there longer on this set of tires. He'll be able to make up that time on the longer run on this next set of tires, so. Looks like he's going to go to lap 140 or so.
Yep, so he's going to try and make it to the end after this pit stop.
Whoa!
Yep, Jeff Schmidt almost getting into the side of him there as he dives to the inside through turn 2. Turns 1 and 2.
These guys like to make it exciting, don't they?
Oh, they try to.
Just checking your pulse, man. Making sure you're still alive.
Eric Minch still on pit road. He's been in pit road for over 3 minutes now. He's 13 laps down. So I'm guessing Minch's night is done at this point.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Ryan Littleton now brings the pit side.
So does Burchett. I was going to say, speaking of done, so are them tires on Joe Burchett's car. And after 140 laps, he's coming to pit road. Not on those tires, but in the race.
Stick a fork in them. They're done.
Yep, he had quite a few laps. Right about 70 laps on those tires. Give or take.
Yep. Oh, he got into his pit box, but in a very awkward angle.
Yeah, he did. Looks like they're doing the stop, but yeah, very awkward angle. He's down on the way, though.
That ghosted through the pace car at the in the meantime, while he was doing it. Yep, he's down and away, and he's back. He's still in second place, even though he's had to make a pit stop. So, still a huge advantage between Burchett and Trevathan. Trevathan back there, still ahead of Mark Cohen. Dylan Vos still out on track. He's still leading this piece as now he brings it pit side.
I was kind of surprised to see that Ethan and Cohn didn't make up more time than that on Burchett.
Yeah.
Good job by Joe getting in and out of the pits without any big time mistakes. And he got in there a little awkwardly, but got in and out. He's good, so.
Now, I can't help but think though that by staying out a lot longer, Dylan Vos might have hurt himself here.
I think Dylan was just hoping for the caution, playing the caution game.
He just overshot his pit box as well.
Oh, man. Yeah, that'll cost him.
Meanwhile, Trevathan under pressure from Mark Cohen. Cohen's going to dive it to the inside there. And Cohen is going to take away second place here. And he said it was only a matter of time, Scott, and the time was coming. Mark Cohen has taken away second place now.
And it's the difference in the tires. Now Mark should be able to drive away from him and see if he can catch up to Burchett. But I think Joe's gone now. I think it's going to take a mistake from Burchett for anybody to have a chance to win this race. It's Joe's race to lose at this point if we stay green.
Yeah, we've seen time and time again that once Joe Burchett makes his way to the front, he is almost impossible to catch or even beat at this point of the race. I mean, we're just approaching 50 laps to go. 146 of 200 right now, so Joe Burchett can probably make it to the end now.
Oh yeah, they can all go to the end. All those guys that pitted there in the last 10 laps or so can all go to the end from this point. The guys that pitted way early, they'll probably have to pit again, but the guys that pitted here in the last 5 to 10 laps, they'll all be able to go to the end.
Yep, David Worrell, Jeremy Rigney and Jeff Schmidt will all have to pit again, as they're all north of 20 laps on their tyres, so definitely going to have to make a pit stop again, as Austin Marion is back on pit road. So he's going to make sure he can get to the end now. But all credit to Jeff Schmidt, though. He's actually holding on to fourth place here.
Yeah, what a recovery by him, huh? He's been up and down throughout the field all night long like a roller coaster. Yeah. He's got Brandon Puffenbarger behind him. Puffenbarger's still reeling from that incident with Jeremy Rigney before he entered pit road. So watch Puffenbarger to be driving like a man possessed right now. No, after 150 laps, Sam, we still got 8 of them on the lead lap.
Yep. David Worrell and Austin Marion, the only drivers laps down. Eric Minch is back out on track, but is 17 laps down. Oh no, it's 20 laps down now. And 3 laps. No, it's 20 laps down. So this is, from this point onwards, it's just a glorified test session for Mr. Minch now.
Well, I guess if you can get back out there, you got to get back out there and turn laps if you expect to pick up any kind of positions, because he's going to need to be out there to make up laps just in case these guys crash them.
The way this race is,
all the points matter. You got to remember, we're in the chase. This is the first round of the chase tonight, so all these points count. Maybe he thought about that. Maybe he decided he was done, and then maybe it hit him. Said, "Damn, we're in the chase. I got to get back out there." Anything can still happen.
Sudden realization.
Yep, and anything can still happen. You know, these guys, 4 or 5 of these guys can get caught up in some stuff between now and the finish of the race, and before you know it, you made up some laps, picked up a few positions, picked up a few points. May matter a few weeks from now.
Yeah, and it's about that time of the race, as you probably heard on the broadcast. I've just opened a cold one. So cool.
Right on. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Drinking Corona tonight.
In the can, huh?
Yeah.
I only know Corona in the bottle.
No, I've got Coronas. I've got Budweiser right now.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, Budweiser and Corona. I like to keep my beers American. I don't know why. Usually I drink Heineken, though, which is, I believe it's Dutch or Belgian, one of the two. But I usually drink Heineken, but lately I've been drinking like Corona or Budweiser. Even Miller. I've been drinking some Miller as well. I haven't been having myself a few Miller times.
I was just about to say it's Miller time.
Maybe choke on my Budweiser.
Speaking of Miller time, Joe Burchett wants to have some Miller time here in just a few laps. He's got 43 more circuits around this place, and he will have this first round of the opening chase format.
Yep, less than 50 laps to go. Now we're closing to 40 laps to go now. That's how quick this race is going. That's Swamp Dust number 41. Really putting the gauntlet down to everybody else. He's got Jeremy Rigney right ahead of him, though. About to put another lap on. That's actually putting Yeah, put a second lap on Rigney. Oh, only one lap. Okay.
Yep, just one.
As
That leaves us 6th on the lead lap now, as Littleton went down a lap as well. So now Jeff Schmidt will be next, and then Dylan Vose.
as Brian Littleton's going to try and take advantage of that. He's going to dive to the inside of Rigney to try and take away that 7th place, and he does. Is Rigney going to try and take another stab back at him, try and crosses him over, dives it to the inside. But Littleton able to keep it wound up on the high side. That high line still giving them people the advantage here tonight.
Yep. More laps you got on the tires, the more the high line will be king.
Joe Bichette has
Well, you want to crank it up one last time for the fans before we for the conclusion of this race?
I can do. And let me just see if I can find a pack of drivers, because everyone's all spread out right now. Exciting. Let's crank it up for a bit. Or would you want me to crank it up, or do you want me to go? Or should we go for a quick commercial break?
No, let's crank it up.
Okay, let's crank it up then. As we are cranking it up now. Sorry, I'm about to go out of that.
Joe Bichette, our leader.
He's
I
out.
tell you, Sam, anything and everything can happen.
So, caution's come out. Joe Bichette's had some kind of technical issue.
He sure did, because he got on the front stretch, man, and just all of a sudden that car just went left and went straight down into the inside wall and killed the inside wall. Joe Bichette will competitively be out of this race. He might be able to continue, but he won't be your winner tonight. Not after that. Wow.
Yeah, just blinked out, and all of a sudden just went down to the wall and just absolutely tried to take the pit wall down.
And that changes everything, man. That's the guy that's lapped everybody here tonight, so that's going to put a lot of guys back on the lead lap when he goes in to get damage fixed, and even when he gets back out there. Guys are going to stay out and get back on the lead lap. I don't blame them. This is your chance. You got to now.
That's potentially going to hand the lead over to Mark Cohen as well, provided that Cohen can actually get it done on pit road. And that man there in 3rd place, he could come out on top of it all.
Sam, this opens the door for everybody, man. This is going to be a short run, about 30 laps, and everybody's salivating now because the guy that was dominating this race just wrecked out of the race for whatever reason. And now everybody's got a chance. Wow.
So Mark Cohen wins the race off pit road. Trevathan off 2nd, Puffenbarger off 3rd. Jeremy Rigney stays out on 39 lap old tyres. You get a bonus point, and he's not going to get the bonus point because he's going to bring it down pit road before he's even crossed the line.
We were just saying there when there was 43 to go, Sam, and 43 more circuits around this place, and he'd have had this thing in the bag, but it did not work out that way, and he's still sitting on pit road, and here comes the pace car. He's going down a lap.
Yep. So Bichette's
wow.
I think Bichette's night is done.
Could be, man. What a change of events here. I'm expecting he'll probably get as much damage as he can fixed and get back out there. Yeah. If it's real bad, then, yeah, he may be done for the evening. But
he hit that wall really hard, though. He hit it really hard.
I think he got a black screen or a blue screen of death or probably a black screen or something. Obviously, he got it cleared up pretty quickly, though, because he got her going again.
Yeah. In the meantime, that's given the lead of the race to Mark Cohen and Michael Trevathan. He's got to be smiling from ear to ear right now. He was struggling in the early part of this race with connection issues himself. And he finds himself back up to 2nd place, so he is going to be one happy man in that number 2. And Brandon Puffenbarger, despite what he's been through, he's in 3rd place as well now. So, wow.
Burchett goes down a second lap, so yeah, Sam, he's definitely done as far as ever having a chance of getting back on the lead lap and picking up some spots. So he's likely to finish where he's at in 8th place.
And I will go back to crank it up once we go green again, but yeah, that's just...
Actually,
well.
David Worrell's going to get by him because he's still out there. So actually, Burchett will come home 9th, and Austin still out there on the track. He'll be able to get by him, so he'll push Burchett to 10th. And there's where Eric Mitch will be able to, if he stays out there and picks up the laps, he'll pass him. So Burchett will actually finish last in this race if he doesn't get back out there.
Yep. And neither of us are going to get them going this time around because I'm going straight back to crank it up as soon as we go green again.
Sounds good.
Because it was interrupted by Joe Burchett. God damn you, Joe. Picked the wrong time to have a major incident.
I can only imagine what he's going to say when he hears that.
He's probably going to go and tell me to fornicate with myself, but never mind.
Well, here we go, Sam. That crank it up cam ready. Crank it up!
Yeah, and away we go. We're under green again, and crank it up is underway. So we're back under green here. Mark Cohen has already extended his lead out to almost a second here. Dylan Vose has moved his way up to second place here. And Jeff Schmidt has moved his way up to third place. He's actually putting a move on Brandon Pufferbarger for that third spot. And it's just all come alive right now.
Yeah, there was a lot going on while we had Crank It Up going on there. Jeremy Rigney had to serve a penalty, I'm guessing, and had to make a green flag stop. He lost a couple laps due to that. But I don't know how many close encounters we had. We had 3 wide as soon as we got going again there on that Crank It Up cam. So, yeah, a lot going on there. They know it's closing time, man. Everybody wants to get this win. That's what I was saying, Sam. Everybody's salivating now that Burchett's out of the race.
Yeah, but Mark Cohen still he's the only hope. Wow.
he was getting away, but they're reeling him back in.
Yep, Dylan Vose is going to try his best to close the gap between himself and the 3:06 of Mark Cohen. Mark Cohen has actually extended the gap though. He's over a second to the good over the 19. And Dylan Vose himself has already extended his gap, his lead over Brandon Pufferbarger to 1 second, sorry. Oh, there it is. Dylan Vose has taken 0.2 of a second out of Mark Cohen just as I say that.
I was going to say, on screen, it looks like he's getting closer to me. And those guys behind him, once he gets up there, those guys will race for a couple laps. These guys back here will catch up. So this will become a 6-car pack as soon as these guys get all grouped up.
Yep. Joe Burchett still.
We'll be about 10 to go when that happens, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Joe Burchett is still on pit road, by the way.
Yeah, he's done for the night. Oh, nope, there he goes. Just as I said that, he pulls away.
The 14 laps down. Competitively,
so Mitch won't get him.
Yeah. Competitively, Joe Bichette is done.
Man, the guy led the most laps and dominated the race on the hook.
Yeah. So he's just going to try and get it to the end of this thing now, as we've got 20 laps to go here.
Just trying to make sure he doesn't finish last is all that is. I don't blame him. I would too. I ain't finishing last.
As the gap between Dylan Vose and Mark Cohen still holding out at 0.8 of a second. Brandon Puffenbarger, meanwhile, managed to hold on to third place, but Jeff Schmidt is right there. Michael Trevathan, who was started second on that restart, is dropped back to 5th place, and he's got Brian Littleton all over his rear fender. So any one of that top 5 could really...
Oh, we got the 45 here causing big issues. Wow, boy, that was close.
Oh, dear.
That was too close for comfort. How many times have we seen slower traffic cause issues in these races, especially at the end?
Yeah.
We definitely don't need to see that. He's up there way up near the wall now, just getting out of everybody's way. That was a little too close for comfort between him and the 19, though. 19 trying to do everything he can to run down a leader. He don't need slower cars getting in his way like that.
Yeah, that's cost him 0.3 of a second because of that incident. So he's got to do all that hard work again.
Yeah, now these guys behind him are starting to reel him in a little bit now. They're nowhere near as far back as they once were.
No, they are not.
Could get interesting, Sammy.
They already did get interesting. As Joe Bichette's back on pit road again.
Could get more interesting. Eric Minch likes that. He wants to pass him up.
Actually, Joe Bichette's out the car, so I think he's done.
Eric Minch is definitely going to dig that then. He's going to pick up his spot. See, it was worth going back out there. He picked up one spot, and he moved ahead of a guy that's a heavy favorite to win this championship. So,
yeah, Joe Bichette will still have another chance to make it through to the second round in Charlotte. So, not all is lost for Bichette. But if he has another bad race next week, he could be out early, and that's going to be a big shock.
that would be. But I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'm not sure if they're going to eliminate any people after the first 3 races or how that's going to work. Obviously, there's not 16 in the chase, so I'm not sure their format and their structure.
Yeah. So the gap's still holding out at 1.1 seconds between Cohen and Vose. The gap between Vose and Puffenbarger has come down to less than a second now. As Trevathan's going to put a move on Puffenbarger right here now for that 3rd spot. That's all very close to the wall for Puffenbarger. 11 laps to go here. Mark Cohen still holding on to that lead by a second.
He's hanging.
Yeah, Dylan Vose is doing everything he can to try and close that gap. And he's just lost 0.2 of a second there, so I wonder if Dylan Vose has given up here.
I think his tires are giving up. I don't think he's giving up. I think he's driving hell out of that thing. That's why his tires are giving up. He's trying to do everything he can to run him down, but Mark Cohen's just been fast, man. He's been the biggest mover of the night, and he wants this race, man.
Yeah. Puffenbarger's still under pressure from Michael Trevathan. And I think Trevathan will be happy to get a 3rd place out of this tonight because he's had such a difficult race here.
Last time Mark Cohen won here in this series was back on August 10th at Mid-Ohio.
Yep.
actually won the week before that, too, when they went to Watkins Glen. He won back-to-back races, so this will be his first win since he pulled a back-to-backer on August 3rd and August 10th at Watkins Glen and Mid-Ohio.
And incidentally, his first win on an oval this season, so...
Yes, sir. And it's going to definitely lock him up for the next round, I'm sure. If not, it's going to put him in first place in the points. So either way, he's going to be looking pretty good. But he's got to hold on here. His lead is starting to dwindle down. And we got 5 to go, Sam. We're not done yet.
Yeah, we're coming to 5 to go at the line now. And Dylan Vose has got the gap down to 0.6 of a second now. This could be an exciting finish here, as it looks like Puffenbarger and Varthan are starting to close the gap to the leader as well. I wonder if
Doing a little fishing.
Yeah.
Reeling him in. He's getting close. Look at this, man. He is almost on him now. We're coming to 4 to go. He's got to not drive in the rearview mirror and just look out the windshield and hit his marks. Four to go.
Yep, 4 to go here. And it's getting closer and closer.
They're all getting closer and closer. He can feel it, too. Cohen's feeling the moment right now, Sam. That's why the lead's shrinking down. He's feeling the magnitude of the moment. The tires are giving it up, and he knows there's 3 laps to go, and he'll have won the first race of the chase. I think he can finish it.
I don't know. Dylan Vose is getting even closer now.
Good news is they're not going to get to these lap cars up here in front of them that could possibly play a role. They're not going to have enough laps to do that. So it's going to be these 2 guys with 2 laps to go. They're going to settle it out. And Dylan Vose is right there. He's just sliding up the track in the corners. He's got no grip left on those tires. And he's running out of laps as they're coming to the white flag, Sammy.
Yeah, and if he's not careful, Brandon Puffenbarger might take away the 2nd place, as he's getting even closer as well now. White flag is out this time by. And Mark Cohen capitalising on a huge mistake by his teammate Joe Bichette to get his way to the front. And it's paid off in dividends here as Cohen makes his way through turns 3 and 4. Comes out of turn 4 and claims the first win of the chase and advances to round 2.
For his 4th career win, 3rd of this season and 4th career here in the league. Congratulations, Mark Cohen.
Yep, 2nd place will be Dylan Vose, 3rd place will be Brandon Puffenbarger, 4th place will be Michael Trevarthen, and rounding out the top 5 will be Jeff Schmidt. And Schmidt has had a very difficult race here tonight, so a top 5 will be very, very well received here. That is your winner there, Mr. Mark Cohen, and burning him down as you'd expect him to do. So that is our winner, Mr. Mark Cohen, as we are going to get straight ahead with the interviews. And where is he? Looking for Brandon Puffenbarger.
Yeah, I don't have permissions. I can't move nobody. He's up there with his mic muted.
There you go.
Right on. You got it?
I'll get him, and I'll let you interview him.
Oh, go ahead, Sam.
As joining us in the booth now is our 3rd place finisher of the night, Mr. Brandon Puffenbarger. Brandon, Sam up in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
Brandon, a very hard fought 3rd place there. A lot of incidents here tonight, but you've got to be happy with the 3rd place here tonight, right?
Oh, yeah, I had to fight hard there on that last restart, going 3 wide and a 1, and then me and Mike got together a couple laps later. So, I mean, it was clean up until that point, but I kind of figured since it was a chase race, it was going to get a little hairy at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. But just want to give a mention to the incident that you had with Jeremy Rigney while you were trying to make your way into pit road. What exactly happened there? Because it looked like you were trying to make your way into pit road, but Jeremy Rigney just didn't see you slowing down there.
It wasn't Jeremy's fault completely. I wasn't really watching my relative because I looked in my mirror and I didn't see anybody back there, so it wasn't his fault. I kind of was slowing down too much in the middle of the track and he kind of just hit me. So it was like more my fault than his because I wasn't really paying attention to the relative or anything like that.
Right. So talk us through your race. I mean, you've been up there in the top 5 for the most part. The car looks strong out there tonight. How did it feel for yourself, though, from your point of view?
I felt good until about the last quarter of a long run. Then my right front started to go away, so I had to let a couple guys go and just ride until pit stops. But other than that, it felt great. No one really had anything for Joe tonight, but yeah, my car felt good. It was a great race, all in all.
All right, now looking ahead to next week, we head to Charlotte. Just give us your thoughts on that track and what you reckon you got for these guys there.
I like Charlotte. I think the last time we went to Charlotte, I finished 3rd, so I should be able to contend again with those guys. I mean, Charlotte's kind of a cookie cutter track, so as long as you have a decent line, you should have a decent shot at top 3.
Okay, and does anybody like to give a shout out for tonight's podium finish?
Airborne Motorsports, Airborne Graphics, the admins for putting this on, you guys for coming back and broadcasting again. You guys always do a good job. I always like, if I see you guys doing a race, I usually watch it just because I like your broadcast.
All right, Brandon. Well,
thanks, Brandon.
Congratulations on the 3rd place, and we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
All right, see you guys.
As that was our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Brandon Puffenbarger in the Credit 1 number 42. Joining Scott now is our 2nd place finisher, Mr. Dylan Vose. Scott.
Dylan, you got a copy?
10-4 on that, my friend.
Hey, Dylan, you ran out of laps, man. You were inching closer and closer and closer, but you just ran out of time. Tell us about the finish of that race.
Well, it was exciting, I'll tell you that right now. I was just taking a look at the restart, and I didn't realize we were 3 wide there for a minute.
Yeah, it was pretty wild on the restart. We did crank it up for that, so you guys will really appreciate that.
Awesome.
But how do you feel about just, reeling him back in from being over a second behind him and then just not having enough time to get back to him? You feel like you kind of let one get away, or are you happy with finishing 2nd place? Just tell us how you're feeling.
Hindsight's always 20/20, and I thought I could run him down. That's why I got on that restart so aggressively, because I knew that on a longer-ish run that I'd have a chance to. But I mean, I just made too many mistakes. I can't tell you how many times I overdrove 3 into there, but I guess I just put that down to one that got away. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty well locked into the next round after that. So all's well that ends well, I guess.
What happened after that first stint? We saw you and the 2 out there on that first stint. You guys were running 1st and 2nd for the entire time. And then after that, we saw you guys back mid-pack. What changed after that first stint?
I just played the strategy game after the first stint. I wanted to lead a couple laps just to make sure I got all the bonus points and everything. So, and then I just found my way, just working my way through the back. I really don't know what happened with Mike. I think he got loose or something and had to chase tires down for the rest of that run. So.
Well, all in all, man, it was a pretty good recovery, and you come home 2nd tonight. You set yourself up well as far as this being the first race of the chase. How you feeling about Charlotte next week on the oval?
Yeah, I was going to say that depends if it's on the roval or the oval, but
no, it's oval. 134 laps, I think it is.
Yeah, Charlotte should be good. It's going to be another one like this, though. I mean, it'll probably be a couple long green flag runs and maybe a couple late cautions, and might get exciting near the end. But if I can just keep this pace of what I'm doing, maybe top 5, top 10, that'd be great. But we'll see.
You guys going to try to hustle some of these other guys in here and get a bigger field for next week? We only had 11 tonight.
Yeah, we're certainly trying. We're trying to do all that we can to get this end this season with a bang at Homestead. But it's the end of the summer and everything, so we'll see.
Were there anyone in the league affected directly by the hurricane?
I don't really know on that front. Possibly. That's a good point.
Well, hopefully, if there was, like I said earlier, hopefully things are looking up for him at this point. But anyway, Dylan, good job tonight. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for the great broadcast, HomeNet hosting, PC Repair, Metalhead Motorsports, my teammates, Jeff Schmidt, Eric Mitch, Austin Marion, and Michael Tvarthan for just giving me a great show tonight. Couldn't do it without them.
All right, Dylan. Well, congratulations on finishing second place here tonight, and I wish you the best of luck next week.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thanks again, guys.
As that was our second place finisher, Mr. Dylan Vose. And joining me in the booth is a man that has probably got a smile from ear to ear right now, getting his first win on the Oval this year. Mark capitalising on a mistake, a very rare mistake by Joe Bichette, and getting the win tonight. You've got to be very happy with that.
How did that happen? I mean, Joe absolutely had the best car all night. I wasn't even close to him. I felt so horrible. He had his computer lock up on him. And I mean, I started so far back. Richmond is my worst track. I can't believe it. I still don't know how this happened.
Well, it certainly did happen, and you are advancing on to round 2. Pressure's off for Charlotte next week. You've got to be very happy with that.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I was honestly, I had no thoughts at all I was going to win tonight. Richmond, it's one of my worst ovals, period. Charlotte, I'm okay at, and then I believe Dover, the final one, again, okay. So I was just hoping somehow I'd make it to the round of 8. So I'm over the moon right now. It's just, I did not expect that at all, and I'm eternally grateful for it.
Well, let's just go over the race there. Started back in P7, doing what you usually do, just creeping your way through the field. You look pretty content there, just sitting in second place behind Joe Bichette. You did lead a handful of laps before he retook the lead, but you seemed pretty content to just sit there in second place up until Joe dropped out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, my focus was on getting the best points day possible, and Joe, he had this all mastered. I mean, he had the car to beat. I felt horrible that he had that bad luck. I was just going to ride behind him because I felt on the long runs, I had put a lot of rear brake bias in my car, which helped a lot in traffic just to keep the car rotated because otherwise it was very, very understeery. I feel like I was able to hold a lot of these guys on the long runs, but Joe, he was in a class of his own. So I was just hoping for the best points day possible, and then the heavens opened, and here I am.
Absolutely. Well, looking ahead to Charlotte, I'm pretty sure you said you already liked the track, but the pressure's off for Charlotte next week. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be backing off at all, though, when we go there next week.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, with the pressure's off, I'm just going to focus, do the absolute best I can. If an opportunity like this comes again, of course, I'm not going to, let it slide because what happened tonight was a freaking miracle. And these next 2 races, now I'm just going to give it my absolute best, hope for the best. Just try to keep getting these top 5s because I feel that more than anything is what you need in the playoffs to keep getting through each round.
Okay, Mark. Well, congratulations on the win tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's win?
Oh my gosh, yes. Where to start? So first off, my sponsors, Sam Maxwell Customs. They make, in my opinion, some of the best peripherals, wheel rims in particular, for online racing. I actually was using one tonight. I have no doubt it helped me a ton in keeping the car smooth through the corners. That's Sam Maxwell Customs, www.sammaxwellcustoms.com. Of course, my Harpoon Design. They paint all of my paint schemes. The one that I ran tonight was by them. They do some of the best paint schemes in iRacing. Brantley Roden, if you talk to him, he'll help you get whatever you want. That's www.harpoondesign.com. My team, of course, Overtake Motorsports. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to bring these guys home a win. They are the best team a guy could ever ask for. Huge shout out to them. And of course, I gotta give a shout out to Skyler, Go Fast Racing League. I love being a part of it. He does so much. And of course, you guys, BOFA Broadcasting. Thank you so much for taking, putting all your effort into this amazing broadcasted race. You guys are the best. And I think that's everyone.
All right, Mark. Well, go and celebrate your win, and we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you there. Looking forward to it.
And, yep, that was our first winner of the chase here, Mr. Mark Cohen. As, yeah, that is going to do it for tonight. Let's, before we do anything else, let's go to tonight's, 1 second now. I've figured out, there we go. Let's go to tonight's results for the race. As, Mark Cohen, the pressure will be off for next week as he brings home the win here at Richmond. Dylan Vose getting a very popular second place with Brandon Parfenbarger rounding out the top 3. Michael Trevathan finishes 4th. And Jeff Schmidt rounds out the top 5. Brian Littleton is in 6th. 7th is David Worrell. 8th is Jeremy Rigney. 9th is Austin Marion. And rounding out the top 10 is Aaron Minch. Finishing 11th and last after a very rare incident for himself is Joe Bichette. Well, that is going to do it for tonight's broadcast here from Richmond. A very entertaining race and a very rare mistake giving one man a win and advancing on to the second round. That's Mr. Mark Cohen. From myself, Sam Cooper Bennett, and from my broadcasting partner, Mr. Scott Brinson. All that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will see you tomorrow from Richmond again with Major League Esports. Have a good evening.
Have a safe weekend, everybody.